Hello and welcome back to the King James Bible Sunday School channel on YouTube and Rumble, and to our day by day devotional coming from the Call to Glory publication um, this year. And today is April the 13th, 2026. Somehow I turned a page. I don't know how I did that. Anyway, April 13th, 2026. And the devotion is going to come from Proverbs 16:16. But before we get into that, we're going to go through our daily Bible reading schedules. First, the yearly schedule from the devotion is today's reading: 1 Samuel chapters 13 and 14. 1 Samuel chapters 13 and 14, and Luke chapter 14 verse 1 through 24. Luke chapter 14 verse 1 through 24. Then on tomorrow will be 1 Samuel chapters 15 and 16, and Luke chapter 14 verse 25 through 35. 1 Samuel chapters 15 and 16, and Luke chapter 14 verse 25 through 35. All right, and then we have a ribbon marker system from David Daniels, and today's reading, if we're going to get through that in a year, we got Numbers chapter 4, about 3/5 of the way through Numbers 4. Finish up Psalm 27 and Jeremiah 8, about 2/3 of the way through Mark chapter 8, and finish about half of 2 Corinthians chapter 2. Then, that's today, of course. Tomorrow would be finishing Numbers chapters 4 and 5, Psalm 28, finish that halfway through Jeremiah 9, finish up Mark chapter 8, and finish 2 Corinthians chapter number 2. But to do the ribbon markers in the 6-month schedule, again, my recommendation, what I'm trying to do myself, is today's reading is going to be 1 Samuel chapters 10 and 11 and 12, 10, 11, and 12. Then Psalm 106, verse 1 through 22. Ezekiel 13 and chapter 14, verse 1 through 11. Mark chapter 22, verse 1 through 20. And 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6 through 21, which is the end of the chapter, the end of 1 Timothy. Again, 1 Samuel chapter 10, chapter 10, chapter 11 and chapter 12. Psalm 106, verses 1 through 22. Ezekiel 13 and 14, verse 1 through 11. Luke chapter 22, verse 1 through 20. And 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6 through 21. Then tomorrow will be 1 Samuel chapters 13 and 14. Psalm 106, verse 23 through 48. Ezekiel 14, verse 12 through 23, chapter 15, and chapter 16, verse 1 through 5. Then Luke chapter 22, verse 21 through 53, and 2 Timothy chapter 1. 2 Timothy chapter 1. So again, 1 Samuel chapters 13 and 14, Psalm 106, finishing that up with verse 23 through 48. Pretty sure that's into that psalm. You can check it out. But Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 12 through 23, chapter 15 and chapter 16, verse 1 through 5, and Luke chapter 22, verse 21 through 53. Again, finishing up, I believe, chapter 22 there. And then 2 Timothy chapter number 1. And then we have our 3-month schedule going through the epistles. And today's reading is going to be in Romans, of course, Romans 13. And then tomorrow, Romans today, 13. Tomorrow, Romans chapter 14. Romans 13 and Romans 14. I tried to put that into the system here, but it gives part of chapters and stuff like that, unfortunately. And I'm just trying to make it be every day one chapter, and whether or not it's shorter is, to me, it's unimportant. Just trying to do the one chapter a day. So, yeah, it kind of throws me when I look at the schedule on the screen. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not, but it is right. Anyway, Romans 13 today, Romans 14 tomorrow. And back to the devotional. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. Here in the book of Proverbs. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you the title and all that first. Title: More Valuable Than Gold. Ministry Representative Hunter Grills, uh, Lighthouse Children's Homes. Nothing special about the name, it's as it sounds really. Hunter, Hunter, and Grills, Grills. More valuable than gold. Here in the book of Proverbs, we see that wisdom is more valuable than gold. The pressure of this world continually pushes God's people to obtain the physical goods of this world. The Bible teaches just the opposite. Solomon valued wisdom more than he valued gold. And because of this value, God blessed him with riches and wealth. First Chronicles chapter 1, verse 10 through 12. Verse 12. Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor such as none of the kings have had that have been before thee, neither shall there any after thee have the like. When we seek wisdom, we are seeking something much better than anything this world has to offer. When we have wisdom, we have something much more than this world could ever give. When we use wisdom, we find the true treasures of God. Colossians chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. That their hearts might be comforted, being knit together in love, and unto all riches of the full assurance of understanding, to the acknowledgement of the mystery of God, and of the Father, and of Christ, in whom are hid all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Job 28, verse 12 through 17. But where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man knoweth not the price thereof, neither is it found in the land of the living. The depth saith, It is not in me, and the sea saith, It is not with me. It cannot be gotten for gold, neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. It cannot be valued with the gold of Ophir, with the precious onyx or the sapphire. The gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for jewels of fine gold. I will let you meditate on it. The thought that popped into my mind was how much money is spent on college and the foolishness that's in those colleges. Oh man, wow. So that it just is occurring to me. But anyway, tomorrow's devotion is going to come from Psalm 61, verse 2. Psalm 61, verse 2. Get you a head start on it. And I want to leave you with encouragement to stay in the Word of God where you find wisdom. We find true wisdom throughout. And let the Spirit of God lead you and guide you and teach you. Let the meditations of your heart be on the precepts of the Word of God, on the Scriptures themselves, on the words of God. Let that be your thoughts. Let that be your focus. And you read Psalm 119, and you'll see several times in there some different things about the benefits for you of being in the Word of God. All right? And we'll see you again tomorrow for another day by day devotional.